We will break down the Northern Territory's 190 and the 491 visa pathways, the 2025-26 nomination allocations, requirements for graduates, residents, and offshore applicants. Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're looking for one of the most realistic state nomination pathways to Australia permanent residency in 2025-26, the Northern Territory Skilled Migration Program should absolutely be on your radar. Unlike the larger states with extremely competitive selection systems, the Northern Territory focuses on genuine commitment, long term settlement, real workforce needs, not just high points. In this video, we'll break down the Northern Territory's 190 and the 491 visa pathways, the 2025-26 nomination allocations, requirements for graduates, residents, and offshore applicants, priority occupations, fees, timelines, and most importantly, how to choose the right pathway to maximize your chances. Let's get started. The Northern Territory Skilled Migration Program is designed to attract skilled migrants who can meet the territory's unique workforce shortages and population needs. What makes Northern Territory different is its strong emphasis on settlement in regional Australia, contribution to critical industries, and a binding commitment to live and work in Northern Territory for at least 3 years after the visa grant. The Northern Territory offers nomination for the Subclass 190 Skilled Nominated Visa, Permanent Residency, and the Subclass 491 Skilled Work Regional Visa, a 5-year provisional visa with a pathway to permanent residency via the Subclass 191 visa. Good news, Northern Territory is one of the few states or territories that actually received an increase in nomination places. The total nomination allocation for Northern Territory is 1,650 places, Subclass 190 at 850 places, and Subclass 491 at 800 places. The Northern Territory nomination portal opened on the 24th of November 2025, covering all streams. Regardless of the pathway, you must meet the Department of Home Affairs and the Northern Territory government's requirements. You must be under 45 years of age, valid positive skills assessment, minimum 65 points on the points test, at least competent English, meet health and character requirements, sign a declaration committing to live and work in Northern Territory for 3 years. This commitment is not symbolic. Northern Territory takes it seriously. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more migration updates, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new release. Now let's look at Northern Territory's onshore applicants pathway. We'll break it down into graduates and residents. Northern Territory graduates, subclass 190. If you've studied in Northern Territory, you may qualify for permanent residency under the 190 visa. You must show at least 2 academic years of full-time study in Northern Territory, completion of the same qualification or package course, after completion 6 months living in Northern Territory on a 485 or bridging visa, employment, job offer, or clear evidence of genuine job seeking efforts. The evidence can include multiple Northern Territory job applications, professional memberships, employer engagement, or feedback. Graduates already employed or holding a job offer are given higher priority. Even if you're over 35 and not eligible for a 485 visa, Northern Territory will still consider you for the 190 if you have completed 2 academic years in Northern Territory, you're employed, have a job offer, or you can show sustained efforts towards skilled employment. Northern Territory looks closely at consistency and realistic progress both during and after study. Northern Territory graduates, subclass 491. Graduates may also be considered for the 491 visa if they have completed at least 2 academic years in Northern Territory. They can demonstrate ongoing and genuine efforts to secure skilled work. You must clearly show a long term pathway to living and working in Northern Territory. Northern Territory residents, subclass 190. If you're already living and working in Northern Territory, the 190 visa is achievable but structured. You must show 2 years continuous residence in Northern Territory, 2 years full time employment in your nominated or a closely related occupation. Employment must continue for at least another 12 months. Remote area residents. Remote work can be considered in limited circumstances. Remote areas exclude the City of Darwin, City of Palmerston, Lichfield Municipality. Your employer must provide a strong support letter confirming genuine local recruitment efforts and you are critical to business operations. Northern Territory residents, subclass 491. For the 491 visa, the requirements are slightly lower. 12 months living in Northern Territory, 6 months full time work in your occupation or closely related role, job must continue for at least 12 months. Critical sectors exception. In rare cases, your job doesn't need to match your nominated occupation if you work in a critical Northern Territory sector, including health, aged or disability care, construction, hospitality and tourism, education, mining, agriculture, energy, and defense. Employer support letters are mandatory here. Additional employment requirements. Your role must closely align with your nominated occupation, be physically based in Northern Territory, be paid at a market rate, be with an employer operating in Northern Territory for at least 12 months. Remote work, hot desking, or unstable work arrangements are generally not favored. Now let's look at the Northern Territory offshore applicants. Offshore applicants are generally considered for the 491 visa only. You must have at least 2 years post qualification work experience, a genuine intention to settle long term in Northern Territory, sufficient settlement funds, eligibility under one of the three offshore streams. Now let's look at the Northern Territory offshore streams. Priority occupation stream. Your occupation must be on the Northern Territory offshore migration occupation list. High priority roles include registered nurses, psychologists, speech pathologists, early childhood teachers, trades roles such as electricians, carpenters, plumbers, and chefs, ICT business analysts, network engineers. Job offer stream requires a genuine Northern Territory job offer, employer operating in Northern Territory for at least 12 months. Family stream, you must have an eligible relative in Northern Territory who has lived in Northern Territory for at least 12 months, holds PR, citizenship, or eligible regional visa, provides a statutory declaration supporting settlement. You must show a real job search activity. Fees and application process. Northern Territory nomination fee is Australian dollars 300, paid directly via the Northern Territory online portal. After approval, you'll receive an Home Affairs invitation. You must lodge your visa within 60 days. Final advice and strategy. Meeting the minimum criteria is not enough. Success depends on choosing the right pathway, structuring a clear and consistent ROI, providing strong evidence of genuine Northern Territory commitment. If you want a full eligibility assessment, we can review your occupation points, English, and skills assessment, check the Northern Territory offshore migration list alignment, identify the strongest pathway, and build a clear migration strategy. Tell us whether you're onshore or offshore, your occupation and work history, and we'll help map out your best options. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.